Hey, everybody. How's it going? Dan here with that guy, Steven.
Yeah, Steven.
He's the dad on the son. Or no, I'm the dad.
No,
You're the son.
yeah. Right. And this time we're talking about a couple concerts we attended. They were both of Steve Hackett, and you saw them at the Celebrity Theater in Phoenix on November 11th, and I saw the band at the Orpheum Theatre in Los Angeles on November 14th, which actually turned out to be keyboardist Roger King's birthday. So
Oh, that's nice.
so at the end of my show they sang happy birthday to him and gave him a cake and everything.
A cake and everything. That's great. And when I saw them on 11/11, an angel number, it was Veterans Day here in the US. So when they came back, there's an intermission, and Danny Zalesko, the promoter who runs the Celebrity Theater there and MCs the shows, in between, he wished everybody who's a veteran happy Veterans Day, gave this guy in the front row a signed poster, and all the lights were red, white, and blue. It looked really cool. It was neat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really cool that they acknowledged that, especially considering there's only one American in the band, and that's Nick.
Yeah, Nick DiVirgilio.
Yeah. In fact, I think I have a picture of him real handy. Let's see. Oh, that's not the way to do it. Hold on. One sec. There it is. So that's Nick, obviously in the middle. I'm on the right. Philip Gelb of Phoenix Drum Company is on the left. And we were just walking through the lobby after we got in, and Philip said, "Hey, there's Nick." So we went over to him, and he was talking to, I think, a couple of family members, because he apologized for not getting back to me right away, like the day before or so, a couple of days before the show. Said, "I got family in town, this and that." So it was cool to run into him, talk for a bit, and just tremendous job on the show. I mean, just tremendous. In fact, I was just telling Steve before we went live that my pick for the next Rhythm and Lows show with Jeff Berlin, where we feature a bass and drums team, or drums and bass, sorry. My pick is going to be Nick and Jonas from this band with a really cool jam and Nick's drum solo and stuff. I don't have all the videos loaded that I took, and I'll get to videos at concerts in a minute. But I have a couple of things, and I'll probably feature more on posts or something on both Yesshift and Drum Talk TV. But I'm not one of those people that holds my camera up and I'm in people's way, and I don't watch the show through my phone either. I strategically frame it, and then I hold it in front of me so it's not blocking anyone's way. I'm present with the concert. I mean, y'all do it how you want. I just didn't want anyone throwing me shade who's against the whole concept, Steven. So I have some video of the show, but let's talk about the show some more first.
Yeah, and I also have photos from my show, which
great.
So we'll show those as well. But yeah, where do you want to begin with this?
Let's start with the venue, just like when we do album and book reviews, we start with the packaging and stuff. So the venues, the packaging for the show. I've never been to the Orpheum. The Celebrity you've been to, it's in the round, and the artists can decide if they want it to be in the round or not, or just block off the back section that's opposite of the tunnel that they come through. And in this case, they did that, but they didn't come out through the tunnel. They come out through there's another entrance on the opposite side. It's a smallish venue. It holds, I'd guess, hey Siri, how many people does the Celebrity Theater hold in Phoenix, Arizona? I'm going to say 3,200.
Celebrity Theatre in Phoenix, Arizona has a capacity of 2,600.
2,650. So it's nice and intimate. Every seat is a great seat. I had second row a year ago, April 13th, and Mr. Hackett fell ill 15 minutes before the show. They had to take him to the hospital. So
Right.
the new seats weren't those seats weren't good for this show, but I still got good seats thanks to our friend Chip at Chipster PR. Hooked Philip and I up with some nice seats. And like I said, anywhere, I just told Chip, and I never asked for tickets, but I found out like 2 weeks before that these tickets weren't good and all of this stuff. And I said, if he could just get me in the building, I'd be happy. And he did, and it was great.
Nice. Yeah, I'm really glad you were able to make it to that, especially after, having had to miss the previous time he was near you. Like that was
Yeah.
like a huge bummer to hear about. And so if
And I'd never
you know,
seen him live.
yeah, that's true. And had you ever seen Genesis live? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw, so let's see. I saw the Abacab tour, the Mama tour, and the Genesis tour. And when they came back, I forgot the name of the tour where When in Rome was filmed, or Live Over Europe. I saw that same tour at Dodger Stadium.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty much the only other time I've seen Steve Hackett was about 2 years ago, I think it was. He was here in Los Angeles, and I think it might have even been the same venue. The lineup was slightly different because Craig Blundell was on drums then.
Right.
And it just left such a huge impression. The sound being big and the diversity in the set list, between his solo stuff and Genesis stuff. Like, and at this newer concert, he featured some stuff from his more recent album, The Circus and the Night Whale, and that's we'll talk about I have the set lists in front of me, which we can go through in a bit, but that's really the way to do it. Show where you are now with your current music and show where you came from with some of the classic stuff. I really appreciate when bands really balance all that and really showcase the newer stuff. And of course his solo album really means a lot to him. He's talked about how personal it is, and they all just seem to be having fun when they play. So we've mentioned a few of the players so far, Steve Hackett, Jonas Reingold, Nick DiVirgilio, Roger King, and of course Nad Sylvan on vocals and Rob Townsend doing saxophone. It's just a really great configuration that really keeps the Genesis music alive and also plays the Steve Hackett solo stuff really well.
Yeah. Couple of things on that. Yeah, Rob played a few woodwinds. He played at least 2 or 3 different types of saxophones, alto, tenor, and soprano sax, and he played flute. So he played flute. Well, there are going to be some spoilers, folks. So if you haven't seen the show and you don't want to know, then watch this after. But he played the flute in Firth of Fifth. He played the flute in some Lamb stuff. They played 9 pieces from the Lamb. Every one of my favorites, with the exception of one that they didn't play, and I was fine with it. The Colony of Slippermen, but the others just have such great guitar work and great guitar solos. Lily White Lil, Fly on a Windshield. Oh, it was all just so good. It just way over delivered. And they played all of Supper's Ready. Are you effing kidding me? It was so good. And I do have a clip of one of his originals that I want to play, if I may, Steve, and mention something about it. It's really short too.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So let's see. Check this out. Okay, so I just gotta find the right screen. I was so impressed with this. All right. So we're going to watch this. You're going to see Steve Hackett sing lead, and then I have a comment. Here we go. You can hear that he's singing, and he sung great, and my mouth literally just dropped open. I could hear or see in my head the Genesis guys seeing a clip from this and going, wait, what? Like, what? Because, yeah, he sung a teensy weensy bit of background in Genesis, but nothing with like the melodicism of that we see there and hear there. And I was so impressed. And then I have a solo from that same piece. Sorry, let me just navigate to the right folder. Yeah, here's this. Check this. $75, like you said, just looks so happy and having so much fun doing what he's doing. He's better than he's ever been.
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and read off the set list. I'm pretty sure the set list is the same between both of our shows. So for the first set, we have People of the Smoke, Circo Inferno, These Passing Clouds, The Devil's Cathedral, nice, really gothic sounding one. Kind of sounds like horror music. They got Every Day, A Tower Struck Down, an amazing bass solo by Jonas Reingold, and Camino Royale, and then the second half of Shadow of the Hierophant. And then for the second set, this is where we get some Lamb selections. So we get The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, Fly on a Windshield, Broadway Melody of 1974, Hairless Heart, Carpet Crawlers, The Chamber of 32 Doors, Lily White Lilith, The Lamia, It, and then we get, of course, the big Supper's Ready piece, which is amazing. And then for the encore, they did Firth the Fifth, and then we got that drum solo from Nick that went into Los Endos. So a really amazing set. Yeah, the lighting was great. The just the overall presentation was amazing. Like, they really know what they're doing.
Yeah, the presentation was great. And I don't know about the Orpheum, but the sound at the Celebrity Theater is incredible. It just sounded so good and got louder and louder and louder, but the mix was so good that none of it was irritating or anything like that. It was, what did you say the opening song was for yours? It was Dance Hall Volcano, right?
No, it was People of the Smoke for both of ours.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so good. I can't say enough about it. It knocks me out seeing them play those Genesis songs as much as seeing John and the Band Geeks play the Yes songs. It was just so So good. What an amazing double bill that would be. But then you get less of it. So, never mind.
Yeah, and you saw them at the same venue, so that's kind of a funny comparison there.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you mind if I play one more clip? So what was your favorite part? And was there anything that like just really surprised you?
I think I kind of feel like maybe I was overall preferring the first set over the latter half of the show. Like I really enjoyed it throughout, but I think for me it was more the solo stuff that I was a bit more into. And I know that might be like, lots of people put Lamb Lies Done on Broadway on the pedestal and it's great and everything, but I don't know. I think I don't know. Maybe if I was more of like I've been through all of Genesis's discography, but I still feel like I'm not on that like higher tier of like Genesis super fan. So, but they did the Genesis stuff really great. So yeah, I don't know if I have just one song that's like my favorite, like my absolute favorite, but I thought it was pretty good throughout.
Cool. I pretty sure I told you this on the phone. Excuse me. But this is one of two. I'm assuming there might have been one more in my life. So I'm going to say one of three concerts in my life that brought me to like choking up. John and the Band Geeks was one of them. To see him, he was shortly before he turned 80, and it was just so good. I always thought that David Gilmour, who's one of my top favorite guitar players, played with the most feel, if you will. And it's all subjective. Let's all agree to that, right? Just so much feeling in that man's playing. And a lot of people refer to Eric Clapton as God and, all this stuff. But David with the sustain. I got to tell you, Steve Hackett is at the top when it comes to emoting just such a rush of feelings that just stirred me. And the other thing is, no offense to Daryl Sturmer, who is a great musician. He's always done a great job with the old Genesis stuff that Hackett played on. He had shoes bigger than I even imagined to fill to actually play for the Fifth and get the guitar solo in that. But to see Steve Hackett do it, just whole other level. Like, sorry, but Daryl's like not even close. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. He played the notes, he had great sustain, but there's something about Mr. Hackett's sound I kept leaning into Philip saying, listen to that. I've never heard that before. His palm swipes. One thing with the guitar pick slides, Alex Lifeson picked that up from him. But the whole palm and the squeaks, and he's been doing that since way back on Get 'Em Out by Friday, The Knife, Return of the Giant Hogweed. If you listen to the very first live Genesis album when they were babies in their 20s, and he's doing that. And Harry was still like, to see him do it and hear the sound, it was just incredible. It was so good, and no one sounds like him. He's one of those guitar players that just has a different sound, like Brian May. No one has Brian May's guitar sound, There's a lot of people who emulate each other and pull from each other, and that's fair. Drummers do that, keyboard players do that, but it just was uncanny how he made that instrument sound like that's his instrument. And I'm sure anyone could pick it up and not even come close to getting the same sound out of it, even though it's the same instrument. But the best part of an instrument, a great instrument, is the great player. And Steve Hackett just exemplified that. It just kept getting better and better. And then when they did all the Supper's Ready, I thought, are they really going to play the whole thing? And they did. From beginning,
Yeah.
it was so epic. I would easily buy the DVD, watch the stream, do a pay-per-view, see the concert again. One of my top 5 concerts ever in my life, and I don't even know how many concerts I've seen since 1977, my first concert. It was that good. I know it sounds like hyperbole, but I'd have to say that, John and the Band Geeks, one of the Genesis shows, Led Zeppelin, and then it's a toss between one of the Yes or Deep Purple show. Rush is right there, but way up there. Best show all year for sure. Did I see any other shows this year? Probably. I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't recall if you've seen any others this year. I mean,
it's November. It'd be weird to go this long and not see. I hope I'm not offending anybody that's watching.
Oh, you did see my friend's band Fake Band practice, at least.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you've played like a couple gigs near you as well.
Right.
So yeah. It's been a busy year. I'll go ahead and show the photos that I took at the Orpheum. So,
sure, and I'll read a couple comments. Bill Lagrisi says, how about that Nick Fragile? It was all right. No, he killed it and sung really well. Yeah, Nick, I know those Genesis songs note for note, every instrument, note for note. I can't play every instrument, but I can whistle, hum, or sing every note of every instrument. And the drums, I could play every note. He nailed it. He was so good. And he played it the way Phil played those songs in the latter years, or the way he played Supper's Ready on Seconds Out. And, so he studied, he really knows his stuff, and just a really sweet guy. It was so great to see him doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a Hanukkah bush.
Yeah, they got this little holiday tree in the lobby of the Orpheum. And there's a bit more of the inside of the Orpheum and these other photos. This was actually, they did a silent auction for the Nick Alexander Music Trust. Cause
can you zoom in, please?
Yeah, because the 10th anniversary had passed of the terrorist attacks at Bataclan, that theater in France. And so people were able to bid on 4 limited edition posters signed by Steve and the band. So during the show, they announced the winners of the auction and whatnot. Nice. But yeah, they have those shirts and all. I guess I have to go this way. This might be in reverse order, these photos, the way it's cycling through them. But yeah, I think that's at the end of the show. And I love the lighting throughout felt predominantly like cooler colors. Like you get the blue and green lights here and the smoke. Sometimes it was red. Ooh. So I think they knew like when exactly to use the right colors depending on what was being played.
Sure.
Yeah, like there's some really cool shots here, but I feel like the photos I take on my phone still do not do complete justice to all of
Right.
this. So sometimes I'm like, why even bother? And this is where I was sitting. Like I was closer to the back, but I could still hear it pretty well. And for concerts, it's typically the metal ones where I feel like I need earplugs, but here, like, someone was so enthusiastic that he was whistling like right next to me. So I'm like, okay, maybe I need to wear earplugs at every concert on the off chance there's a rogue whistler,
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And I got a couple bits of merch, but did I cut you off? Were you guys say something?
No,
Or...
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So I got this is one of them. I got this, I guess it's like let me unblur the effect. Okay, here we go. So it's like the tour program, but it's not as, it's not like an essay heavy tour book like we're used to. It's more photo driven. Like there are a couple blurbs about, the circus and the night whale and the lamb, but there are these great photos that you can flip through really quick, and they look much better like looking in the actual book than on here, but the picture quality is amazing. It really puts my cell phone photos to shame. Yeah. So there's a nice like 2-page one right there. Like these are so good. And I got 2 music releases. One of them is Steve Hackett, The Lamb Stands Up at the Royal Albert Hall, and it's even signed by him. It's this
audio only, or
it's a 2 CD and a Blu-ray disc.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah,
I did not even visit the merch thing. What a dummy. I'd love that. Yeah, I don't know why. I think I was just so in the moment and so excited to be there and everything after missing it,
Yeah, I think last time we interviewed Steve, I think it was in the lead up to this release.
It was.
Yeah, it's more purplish inside version of this. That's how the inside looks, and
oh wow,
got that crowd shot and the discs.
So is Nick on that or Craig?
Craig, yeah, because this was from last year, and the Blu-ray, like it just looks so good with the menus of like DVDs and Blu-rays of concert films. Sometimes I'm sort of used to the menu being like a static image with just some music, but here the Blu-ray menu shows like a bit of a montage of footage from the concert, so that's pretty cool. And the Royal Albert Hall and all the lighting, it just looks amazing. And the different shots, how they cameras showcase the different musicians throughout this whole thing. And they even had, for Carpet Crawlers, they had Ray Wilson sing on that. Like he guested there. He for those who don't know, he was the singer on the Genesis Calling All Stations album, which I know was a contentious period for some fans, but I think it still has like a bit of a cult following. So it was really cool seeing him sing that song. And the special feature that's also included here is this 23 minute or something interview with Steve Hackett, where he's talking. No, they didn't ask us, so no. But he was talking about The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway was one of the things he was talking about, and how it's quite the experience revisiting the music now, because back then, at the moment when it was new, the band was kind of had a lot of friction with each other, and with Peter Gabriel on his way out. And so he was saying that like back then he didn't appreciate the music as much as he does now. Like he appreciates it more revisiting it. And he also said that he feels that The Lamb is really where Peter Gabriel's solo career began, and that album feels like the band's album, but also feels like a Peter Gabriel solo thing. And you know, he has really nice things to say about Peter. And he also mentioned that back then he felt like, you know, Steve felt like he didn't have as much space to play with the guitar as Steve Howe did with Yes.
Right.
And, you know, and he says, to be fair, I was reticent at the time. So I guess he would kind of keep to himself or something. At least that's what I got out of it. But yeah, it was really fun watching this interview. You know, watching the Blu-ray just a couple nights after the concert, it kind of felt like I was getting sort of the same experience too close together. Like I kind of prefer to space these things out, which is why I you know, with that Beat Live thing, it's like it was fun revisiting that way later. And even then I have to like spread apart watching the video and listening to the CDs. But that interview definitely added another layer to this experience.
That's cool. I'm like that too. And I think that this is not common, and folks chime in with where you stand on this. When I go see a concert, I do not listen to any music, not even that artist's music, on the way there or on the way back. I just don't. I think it's dumb.
Yeah.
Sorry. I know a lot of people do it to get revved up and then relive it again. But
yeah.
You can see them live. Save it for that moment. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, bless that one person. I saw that one time, like, rocking out to New Language in their car right before a Yes concert. But yeah, I totally get what you mean. I'm kind of like that too. Like, I think it depends. Like, if it's an artist I am pretty familiar enough with, I'll kind of wait until the show. But if it's a newer artist, I'll maybe get a little bit more familiar with them, listen to a bit of their catalog, and then see the show. But yeah, a lot of this, the track list has some, like, a lot in common with the concerts we saw. I'll just read through it real quick. People, The Smoke, Circo Inferno, These Passing Clouds, The Devil's Cathedral, Every Day, Hands of the Priestess, A Tower Struck Down, Low Notes and High Hopes, Camino Royale, Shadow of the Hierophant, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, Fawn of Windshield, Broadway Melody of 1974, Hairless Heart, Carpet Crawlers, The Chamber of 32 Doors, Lily White Lilith, The Lamia, It, Dancing with the Moonlit Night, The Cinema Show, Isle of Plenty, Firth of Fifth, and Los Endos. So,
well, Dancing with the Moonlit Night, and what was the other one? Dancing with the Moonlit Night and Cinema Show. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Two of my absolute favorites.
Yeah, so definitely recommend this release. And the last thing that I got from the merch stand was the new Nad Sylvan CD. This album is called Monumentada and also signed by him. And I've been aware of this. Like, I remember when it was getting some buzz a few months ago, but it kind of slipped by me. I must have been really busy and just not listened to it when it came out, but I've given it a listen. It's really good. The overall sound feels kind of Genesis adjacent, you know?
Mm-hmm. Who's on it? Anyone we know?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and read off who's on this. So, yeah, there's a bunch of people we know. We got Tony Levin on bass, Randy McStein on guitar, Nick Beggs on bass, Jonas Reingold again on bass, Lala Larson on synthesizer, who I believe is joining Steve for the upcoming 2026 dates, Mirko DeMaio on drums, Joe Denninson on violin, Marco Miniman on drums, Felix Lerman on drums, who I think is taking over from Nick on the upcoming 2026 dates, David Kolar on electric guitar, Shiona Urquhart on backing vocals, Jade L on backing vocals, and Neil Whitford on electric guitar. So that's really an all-star lineup right there. Yeah.
Oh, I bet it sounds amazing.
Yeah, like some of the sounds remind me of like 70s stuff, especially like the synthesizer is able to convey some of those like organ sounding sounds of the time.
Yeah.
Monte Carlo, I'll read the track list real quick. Secret Lover, That's Not Me, Monte Carlo Priceless, Flowerland, Wildfire, Make Somebody Proud, I'm Stepping Out, Monumentata, and there's a bonus track called Unkillable. Out of these, Monte Carlo Priceless is maybe the most ballady sounding one, and I'm Stepping Out is, I guess, the most poppy sounding one. Like you can imagine it being on the radio, and I guess any of these could technically be put on the radio, but a lot of this really does remind me of like classic Genesis plus Nad adding like himself and stuff.
That's cool. Very cool. Fun show. We highly recommend if it's coming to a town anywhere whatsoever near you. It was about 97 miles from me. So, give it go for a ride, see some amazing music. It was just so good.
Yeah, for sure. Like they really do a great job with all that material.
Yeah. 75 and just crushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't, I went on and on about it. I can't overstate how impressed I was. It was just so much fun.
Yeah, definitely. And Nick DiVirgilio, he had told us that December 3rd at 2 p.m. Pacific could work for like when you're going to interview him for Drum Talk TV. So we'll try to stick to that, and we'll have posts and whatnot in the lead up to that. And
at his calendar.
Yeah.
That's 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Pacific?
No, 2 p.m. Pacific.
On the 3rd?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got that. Marcelo's right before that. Okay, I got that. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry. I'm like, oh, no. Something's scheduled. I had the time wrong. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
So, yeah, I guess that'll do it. I don't know how much more we can say. We've already praised the heck out of this.
A matter of gushing over and over. So, folks, go see it. And if you saw it, put your comments in the comments. Coincidentally, we'd love to hear your thoughts, read your thoughts, and let us know what you thought.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Thanks, everybody. You can follow us at on YouTube at Yesshift. You can follow us on Facebook at Yesshift. And you can write us at yesshiftpodcast@gmail.com. And if you're an audio-only type of podcast listener, you can follow us at anchor.fm/Yesshift and all the popular podcast channels.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you all soon.
Bye.